Hello everyone, this is Dragons After Dark, and welcome to the Pet Battle Report, your weekly news and information source for all things Pet Battle. This week we're going to touch on a couple of things on my Battle Pet wish list for WoW, and then what I'd like to see in the future for the trading post and other limited events. Before we get into that though, let's go over everything going on this week on Azeroth and beyond for your pets. Starting off with Shadowlands, we have the Night Fae Assault, and unfortunately the Quest of Shady Place is not up this week, which would give you access to the Rift and the treasure for the infused Ether Worm. Even though this isn't up, you'll still have a chance for the Invasive Buzzer from the Assault Cache. On Friday evening reset in NA, this will transition to the Venthyr Assault, which offers no pets for us to collect. In battle for Azeroth, Enzoth is assaulting the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, which means the rares, the Forgotten, and Will of Enzoth will spawn, giving you a chance for the pets Cuddly from the Forgotten and Corrupted Tentacle from the Will of Enzoth. The Akir Assault will be up in Oldham on the Friday evening reset for NA, where you'll find the rares Skixtrax, I said that wrong, probably, who has the chance to drop the Akir Tunneler, and Lord Ajkarai, who drops Rot Breath. Then for the islands this week, we have the Molten Cay, Verdant Wilds, and Whispering Reef, and for the salvage, it's Crestfall, Dreadchain, and Havenswood. As for the Vol'dun Assault, the next one for NA will be on Saturday at 11 p.m. Pacific, while for EU it will be on Saturday as well, but 2 p.m. Pacific. Heading back to Cataclysm, don't forget if you still need to complete your Rock Lever achievement to get the Battle Pet Pebbles, Remty and I hold on to the daily so we can share it with others. Just hop on Discord and ping Remty for EU and me for NA. Keep in mind you do need to have the Therazane dailies unlocked and you can't be in Deepholm when we share it. On the 25th, the Greedy Emissary event began, where treasure goblins will spawn from portals in the Dragon Isles and the capitals until June 14th. One of those rewards the goblins will drop is a pet, Belial, which is arguably a more useful version of the much-loved Ball. It has a really good drop rate, so don't miss out on this awesome pet. June's trading post is here, and with it came the pet Buzzworth for 600 Traders Tender. This pet stirred up a bit of controversy in Twitteroth when players realized it's basically a reskin of the Seabreeze Bumblebee. There are some minute differences, but overall it looks like the same pet at a glance. Do you think Buzzworth looks like a copy, and do you think it's worth 600 Traders Tender? Let me know in the comments below. Speaking of the trading post, Aranesh has added June's section for the trading post on the website, and I'll link that below so you can look up or add strategies for each of the Forbidden Reach fights. Just to give you a heads up, this month it's 2 elementals with the third pet being your choice. I'm pretty sure I've got a nice team going that should work for all 4 battles with the Crazy Carrot, Primal Stormling, and the Zandalari Ankle Render. If we can get Wildfire and Vortex for Thursday and Friday, I'll be able to have a video up for it on Saturday. If we don't get those 2, I can do my best to mimic the Bone Shard strategies to get something working. This week we have the Sign of Battle for the Battleground bonus event. You can earn bonus honor to help you on your way to earning those honor level 5, 20, and maybe even 400 pets. To wrap up the weekly events, this is just your reminder that next week is Sign of the Critter or Pet Battle bonus week, and that Dark Moon Fair starts on Sunday. This time around, EU will have a Super Squirt on Sunday the 11th. Keep in mind that with the rebalancing of XP during and outside of the event, you still have great opportunities to level outside of the bonus week with regular Squirt days and repeatable Legion Tamers when their world quests are up. So instead of trying to slog through hundreds of pets to level in a single day, you can space it out as these leveling opportunities come up. Also, if you're still hunting for those pets off the Zaralek Cavern rares, don't forget that they are on a rotation. I'll link the Google Doc that someone from Wowhead, probably either Narissa or Buloki, put together to help track them. Remty and I have also added them to our daily reports. Those daily reports can be found on my Twitter, the NA forums, and on the Zufus, Secret Finders, and Warcraft Pets discords. And that's it for what's going on this week for your pets. Now it's time to go over a couple things on my wish list that I'd like to see implemented in WoW for battle pets. The first one, a Battle Pet Transmog system. Is it a pipe dream? Probably. Would I still like to see it implemented? You bet your bottom copper I do, and I'm not talking about the stacks of bee hats that you have to keep in your bags. I'm talking rostrum of transformation for battle pets, with transmogs having chance drops from winning battles, purchasable off vendors for completing pet battle quests, and so on. We've seen some small steps towards this being possible with things like cosmetic bee hats and the rostrum for mounts. All I'm asking is to take the next step and expand it for pets. And understandably, this would likely be limited to pets that already have such things possible in their files, like said bee hats on bees. But we've seen a plethora of pets in this expansion with some stylish accoutrements, and I'd love to share that style with my other pets. Think of getting not only Roggy from the achievement, but his hat transmog too. I'd love to see that on one of the Murlocs, or just about any pet really. Next is a breed training system, or stones you can purchase to re-roll your pet's breed. The first one, in my mind, would function like a better version of Transmute Meat to Pet that Alchemist had in Battle for Azeroth. Better in that it won't re-roll or give you a breed the pet has already had for like a week? Something like that. So the weekly reset would reset the possible breeds, but within that week you can train your pet multiple times to try and get a breed. This means it needs something more reasonable than a 24-hour cooldown because some pets have all 10 possible breeds, so it'd need to be like 12 hours. Why a cooldown at all? If you're asking that, I'm assuming you've never played a Blizzard game. The stone concept might be a little easier if you paid something like 20 charms for a stone of pure speed or some other handy name like that. It will focus on the speed breeds of that pet, same for power or health. Anyway, those are just a couple things or some variation thereof on my wish list for battle pets. Before we get into what I'd like to see on the trading post and other time-limited events in the future, let's go over our Battle Pet of the Week, selected by the random pet feature on Warcraft Pets, the Iridescent Ooze. The Iridescent Ooze comes to us from Maldraxxus in the Shadowlands. The notes on Warcraft Pets tells us the Plague Fallen chest is located on top of a wall south of the Plague Watch flight path in Maldraxxus. To reach the top of the wall and open the locked chest, players must transform into Plague Fallen by getting 10 stacks of concentrated plague from the nearby toxic green water. After transforming, players have 2 minutes to reach an interactable pipe located in a cave underneath Scunner's platform. Entrance is the east side of his circular platform. Interacting with the pipe will teleport you up the wall. You might also have noticed on Warcraft Pets that it has 3 different skins, but that isn't because the pet has 3 possible skins to be. It can spawn in one of 3 colors when summoned. So if you got red but you wanted the purple version, resummon to try for the color you wanted. This pet only has 1 breed, and despite it being a health speed breed, it's not very speedy, though it does have a nice bit of health at 1627. Unfortunately, the power is so-so at 260. That said, you could get some nice dots going with Sludge Belch or Creeping Fungus and Creeping Ooze, and having Consume Corpse on a magic pet which can't take more than 35% of their HP in one hit is a nice touch. And that's it for the Iridescent Ooze. Now for what I'd like to see on the trading post and other time-limited events moving forward. We'll do the trading post first, since that one became a bit of a hot topic in the pet collecting community today. As I said above, the pet this month, Buzzworth, is a copy of the Seabreeze Bumblebee. Looking back to when the trading post pets were data mined, even I didn't realize the models were that similar, but Atalanos on Twitter brought it to my attention, and yeah, it's pretty much the same pet. When you do a side-by-side, Buzzworth looks like a first draft version of the Seabreeze. Buzzworth's eyes are bigger, its wings are less detailed, its stinger is bigger, its butt is a little rounder, its legs, mandibles, and antenna are thicker, and it doesn't have the armor bit with spikes on its back. This sounds like a lot, but it all comes down to the coloring, which is identical, and it's the first thing people see when they look at the pet. I probably couldn't have named most of those differences if we didn't have a nice side-by-side comparison. So let's make this clear. Reskins and what's basically a carbon copy are not a good look for the trading post, especially not when you're expecting 600 tenders for them. I was already unenthused with reskins like Pippin, Buttercup, Draz-Kazette the Wrathful, which is my least favorite, and Egg Bob. Little Mokajin would have made the list, but there's a connection there with the cute Brutosaur matchmaking quest chain in BFA that makes this an aw, it's sweet to see an epilogue to that story instead of, ugh, a reskin. This leaves a bad taste even more so when you think of all the pets that could have shown up on the trading post before copies and reskins. Since we got a RAF mount this month, why not pair it with a RAF pet? Or geez, go wild and do region-locked pets. I bet even people in those regions where it came out originally would like a chance at the pets that are probably no longer available, short of paying thousands of dollars, if at all. I'd rather have a chance at the ugly low poly dragons than a reskin. The point is there are tons of models and options that could have made each month of the trading post a unique and exciting purchase for pet collectors, but instead we're getting a lineup of buzzworths. As for limited time events like the WoW Anniversary or BlizzCon, make previous pets from those events available while those events are active, please? You don't even need to make them cageable like the timeless mechanical dragonling. It would be a thing that you could only purchase during or a little before and or after those events. I physically can't attend BlizzCon again, but you can bet your britches I'd be willing to throw down some cash for the themed Murlocs. As for the anniversary, one of the best pets with beast attacks for elementals is the Molten Corgi because of its speed. If you weren't around for the 10th anniversary, it's too bad, so sad. Then there's the pets from limited world events that aren't cageable, like the Vampiric Batling or Spirit of Competition, though to be fair, they could have the Spirit of Competition available anytime the Olympics are up, just saying. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Before we go for the day, our featured strategy is an OG from Pandaria for the Thundering Pandaren Spirit. It features any snail with Dive, Acidic Goo, and Ooze Touch, the Darkmoon Zeppelin in slot 2, and any level 1 plus pet in slot 3 for some leveling. It isn't fast at around 19 rounds, but it works. Since you might find yourself over in Pandaria for the trading post, why not stop by the battles and take a tour of the mist-shrouded isles while you level a couple of pets? I'll have the link for the strategy in the description below. That's going to be it for me this week. I'll have all the pertinent links available on my tweet for the podcast, as well as in the description once it's uploaded to Spotify and YouTube. Until next time, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and happy battling!